What is the best Fox 3 launcher that is coming in the next patch? Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons, make sure to subscribe, and we are, getting the final hours of the dev server after what it was almost 2 weeks, I think, of dev server. Yeah, it was almost 2 weeks, right? I mean, Jesus. But we are finally getting the patch, right? And the patch will come probably next week. And with the dev server closing, most of the stuff was already tested. I doubt that we will see another dev server opening. This was probably the largest dev server we ever saw in War Thunder, which is very interesting. And yeah, guys, I mean, we have plenty of things being added, plenty of mechanics, plenty of ground vehicles, air vehicles, and of course, even ships. But I think the major thing about this patch is the Fox 3 launch, like the Fox 3 missiles, of course, right? So what is going to be from the dev server, what we can actually get that is going to be the best, or that is giving it a vibe of being the best aircraft in the game, the best top tier? Well, there are many aircraft that we need to consider here, but I think at the end of the day, it will come down to the good old ones that were already the best, okay? So I think we have 3 aircraft that might be up top, fighting for the 3 top positions of the best aircraft. Again, with the dev server in mind, once the actual patch is coming, some things might change, and I'm going to probably do another video like this after properly flying. But after all the tests, I still believe that 3 aircraft that will be the best in the game are going to be the Su-27, the SM, of course, maybe the J-11 together, but the J-11 has some things going for it and some things going against it. But in a general sense, they're very similar to each other. So yeah, Su-27 SM, J-11A, right, will be in the top 3. Another aircraft is obviously the Gripen. I think the Gripen is probably the perfect aircraft right now, I gotta be honest. Yes, it has a level of not being up there on the sense of being a heavy fighter on one thing, which is the amount of missile that it can carry. I mean, the Su-27 and the F-15, they both can carry more missiles than it, but everything else, the Gripen can deal with it, right? Especially the British one, because the South African, right? Because of the Darter missile. Which is better than the M120 in the current form, right? But the third one, and not the third in position, but the third aircraft that will be the top 3 is probably going to be the Mirage 2000, guys. Yes, the Mirage 2000, I still believe that it's going to be up there, if not the best aircraft. I really want to just try to predict and say, oh my god, yeah, it is for sure the Mirage that is going to be the best aircraft in the game. But we have to wait, and I'm not gonna try to say that like from the get-go, from the dev server, right? But he has everything. He can beat basically everything in a dogfight if you know what you're doing. Yes, there were some nerfs and some buffs to the fly model, so that's going to have to be tested fully for us to actually take a look. But I think the major thing about is the combination of 3 things in that aircraft. One of the best raiders of top tier, which is the RDY. It's an amazing raider. The Mika missile, which is probably the best missile in the game right now, Fox 3, with the amount of missiles. So this thing can actually carry 6 Mikas, which is, of course, I mean, if you count, like, it takes less missiles than an Su-27 SM overall, because the Su-27 can take 2 more IR missiles, but at the end of the day, it's a light fighter that has the ability to carry 6 missiles that are Fox 3s, together with 2 of the best IR missiles of the game, which is the Magic 2 after the buff, right? So, honestly, guys, it's going to be between these 3. The F-16, is it good enough? Well, yes, it is good enough to be on, like, the top 5. But unless he gets a new M120, it's not really up there. The radar is pretty amazing, but it lacks the amount of missiles. And in the dogfighting capability, it can beat a lot of aircraft. Even the Su-27s, Mirages, and Gripens, but for the average player, those aircrafts have a little bit more of a chance of winning. So overall, the package is amazing. If you have an F-16 that will fire M120s, be happy. It will be one of the best aircraft in the game, but it will probably be the 5th or 4th in my list, right? Another one that would be together here is the F-15. In some regards better than F-16, in some regards worse. The thing is about the F-15, it depends very much on the pilot, because it is a heavy fighter compared to the F-16, right? And if you don't know what you are doing, and if you choose incorrectly the fuel load and mismanage fuel consumption and everything like that, it might be a very bad aircraft. But if you know what you're doing, it might be the best out there, even beating the 3 that I already talked about. So at the end of the day, it's an aircraft that will have, I think, amazing stats, but people will have a little bit of a learning curve. But it's up there, for sure, it's up there. So this would be probably my top 5, you know, not in order, okay, not in order. But yeah, for sure the Gripen, the Mirage, and the Su-27 SM being the top 3 between them. I don't know exactly, let's wait and see. And then F-16, F-15 shortly after that, not by much, okay? What do we have after that? Well, not a lot of things, you know. You can talk about some of the other F-16s, like the AM, for example. It's going to be up there. Maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse, depending on how it's added to the F-16C, right? The F-15J, the Machopar, and all those aircraft, yeah, they are amazing, but they are going to be, like, you know, up there together with the other ones that I already talked about. But then we go for the 6th one that I think would be probably it, you know, after this 5th, like these 5 ones. The MiG-29 SMT would probably be there, you know. It's an aircraft that is amazing. The dogfighting capability is problematic on the thing, but it is still a pretty good aircraft. Still can carry 4 R-77s, which are one of the best missiles in the game, together with 2 R-73s or 6 R-77s if you want to. Like, I wouldn't advise you guys, but, you know, you can. So, yeah, overall, amazing aircraft, but it will suffer a little bit compared to some of the other ones. And then we have, I think, the 3rd generation ones. These are the, and like, I want to include not only the 3rd generation ones, but the 4th generations that will not have Fox 3s. These are the ones that are probably going to be a little bit less capable, okay? I can include in here, obviously, the F4F ICE. It is going to be, people don't seem to understand what is needed to be divided in the argument to talk about the F4F. The ICE, man, it's going to be the best 3rd generation aircraft in the game. This is just, for sure, it is going to be the best 3rd generation aircraft of the game. But that's the thing, it is still a 3rd generation jet. It's not a 4th generation. So, yeah, besides of the radar and the missile, everything else is bad. And you have to think about that. This is going to be one of the hardest aircraft to fly. Is it going to be a bad aircraft? No, it's amazing for a 3rd generation. But for the BR that it is, it's going to be difficult. The older MiG-29s, I mean, they are alright, but if you get an up tier, you might die. Yak-141, all of these aircraft that can face the older Su-27, yeah, they can do well, very well. But there will be better stuff out there. The MiG-29G is one that, I mean, it's going to be pretty good still, but there will be some difficulties there that you have to worry about. That's the thing. This era of vehicles, it's either you choose an amazing missile in a 3rd generation jet, or you choose an amazing aircraft with no Fox 3s, right? So there will be 2 types of vehicles here. So Sea Harrier, F4F, J8F, aircraft like this, the Tornado F3, they will be amazing if you know what you're doing, but the learning curve will be high, and you gotta rely on those Fox 3s. And those, for example, F-16As, MiG-29s, Gs, you know, and As, the older Mirages, stuff like that. If you get an up tier, if it gets against some Fox 3s, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. There will be a handicap for you there. But they're still good. So I think at the end of the day, it's a pretty good update, I think. A lot of people can complain about X or Y, that it shouldn't add fox trees and stuff, but I gotta be honest, guys, this is going to be as balanced as War Thunder, I mean, more balanced than War Thunder ever was, to be honest, in top tier. Yeah, everybody will have something. Yeah, Germany is the weak point on this argument, but everybody else has something. And Germany will receive the Auto Fighter soon enough, I think. So, we're getting something there, right? But everybody else, man, everybody else has a very, very competitive fighter that will be able to deal a lot of damage. So, yeah, it's a very good update, in my opinion at least. But, I don't know. Let me know in the comments, what do you think will be the best fighter in the game? And if is it a good update or not, in your opinion? And yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe.